Moving scam update. This is how my Friday started in Nashville. Fast recap. Resident moved from St. Paul, Minnesota. She contracted with a moving company there who had all these 5-star reviews in St. Paul. She was living in a lovely senior living community in St. Paul, Minnesota. Her husband recently passed. She's had a picture of him on her countertop in her kitchen for the last month in her empty apartment. When she arrived on June 30th, the movers were nowhere to be found. She called them, they hung up, they blocked calls, they kept raising rates on her. Metro police were really of no help. They just said this is a civil issue. Even though the moving company originally quoted her just over $3,000 and charged her $15,000 and made her pay all this in cash, that was disappointing. When she originally booked them, they estimated around $3,200 or $3,400. She gave them $1,000 deposit, and then they asked for $2,000 more. She did that. She was at $3,000. When they showed up the day of the move, they said, "Oh, this is so much more than we thought it would be. Before we start, we need you to write us a check for $8,000," which she did. She made the check out to the moving company name. Now she can see the check was cashed by a man, just a personal name who endorsed the check. Everything arrived almost, 4 or 5 weeks later. They let her know that she would need to have $3,044 in cash on hand when they arrived at our community in Nashville. You can see the condition of the boxes. They are all, for the most part, very smashed. She had a lot of her furniture was damaged. Nothing had been wrapped. She was missing multiple lamps, and a stone table that had belonged to her parents was cracked in half. And it took the movers, they arrived at 10:30, and I think they left around 5 o'clock. These were just two guys in Nashville that somehow got this delivery job, and they had a lot of other folks' things on the truck, and much of it just sat on the street for the entire day. Everybody needs to listen. You need to know your movers. If you think your local mover or your interstate mover seems a little high, there's probably good reason. And if somebody keeps asking for more money along the way and is basically extorting you or holding things hostage, you're in a bad situation. Do your research. Don't believe just Google reviews. Talk to locals. They generally have partners in other states. Also, when these movers arrived, they asked how far was her apartment from the elevator. The son said, "I don't know, I think about 100 feet. They said, "Oh, well, we only do 50 feet. After that, it is $75 per foot." And the son basically told them where they could stick it, and they still moved everything in. But it sad ending, a little over 700 square foot apartment, and she's out over $15,000. Final thoughts, look at the beautiful sunset from our community last night. Love this view. Also, none of the media ever showed up. I did speak with Channel 4 and Channel 5, but they just said they were short-staffed.